Welcome to APush for 5, your shortcut to mastering the AP U.S. history exam. Let's jump into period 4, 1800 to 1848, where America transformed through democracy, reform, and growth. Question 1. Stimulus. Pamphlet describing New Harmony, 1826. Here property is held in common and labor is shared for mutual benefit. Question. This community best represents A. Utopian experiment seeking cooperative alternatives to industrial capitalism. B. Early state-sponsored social welfare programs. C. Rural self-sufficiency promoted by Jacksonian Democrats. D. Federal land grants for urban planning initiatives. The correct answer is A. Utopian experiment seeking cooperative alternatives to industrial capitalism. New Harmony embodied reformers' optimism about perfectibility, not government planning. Its collapse highlighted tensions between idealism and economic practicality. Question 2. Stimulus. Anti-Catholic broadside, 1844. The Pope's influence threatens American liberty. Question. The broadside reflects A. Evangelical reformers' belief that moral virtue required the state enforcement of Protestant values. B. Nativist fears that Catholic allegiance undermined Republican self-government. C. Democratic Party efforts to mobilize Catholic voters in opposition to Whig reform movements. D. Popular resistance to perceived foreign influence on American civic and educational institutions. The correct answer is B. Nativist fears that Catholic allegiance undermined Republican self-government. Nativists cast Catholicism as incompatible with American democracy, merging anti-immigrant and anti-clerical sentiment. The other options distort timing or legal context. Question 3. Stimulus. Factory accident report, 1847. Dozens killed in mill fire. Safety doors locked to prevent theft. Question. The tragedy above highlighted. A. Public skepticism toward moral reformers' claims that industrial work promoted virtue. B. Employers' philanthropic campaigns to improve housing and social welfare for laborers. C. The shift toward state-sponsored safety inspections and employer liability laws. D. The human costs of rapid industrialization and weak worker protections. The correct answer is D. The human costs of rapid industrialization and weak worker protections. Poor safety reflected the unregulated growth of early capitalism. Neither regulation nor agricultural retreat addressed such dangers before the Progressive era. Question 4. Stimulus. Women's temperance petition, 1842. We act as mothers and wives to guard our homes from ruin. Question. This petition demonstrates A. Religious revivalists' rejection of moral persuasion in favor of legislative coercion. B. Women leveraging domestic virtue to enter public reform movements. C. Early feminist challenges to the notion of female moral superiority in society. D. Opposition from conservative reformers to the expansion of women's civic influence. The correct answer is B. Women leveraging domestic virtue to enter public reform movements. Temperance activism let women claim moral authority within accepted gender roles. Later feminists drew on these tactics to justify suffrage. Question 5. Stimulus. Chart of immigration origins, 1840 to 1850. Irish arrivals outnumber all others. Question. This demographic shift most directly resulted from A. State-sponsored colonization programs designed to populate Western lands. B. British trade liberalization policies expanding transatlantic labor mobility. C. Northern manufacturers' demand for unskilled labor during early industrial expansion. D. The Irish potato famine and deepening rural poverty. The correct answer is D. The Irish potato famine and deepening rural poverty. The catastrophic potato blight in Ireland triggered mass starvation and emigration, making Irish migration to the U.S. the dominant movement of the 1840s. While labor needs and trade ties facilitated migration, the famine was the immediate cause. Question 6. Stimulus. Camp meeting poster, 1839. All are welcome to feel the Spirit's power in the fields of grace. Question. This event typifies A. The growth of secular humanitarianism among Unitarian and Transcendentalist circles. B. The rationalist influence of Enlightenment thought on American religious reform. C. The emotional revivalism and mass participation of the Second Great Awakening. D. Efforts by established clergy to suppress itinerant preaching and local enthusiasm. The correct answer is C. The emotional revivalism and mass participation of the Second Great Awakening. Camp meetings embodied populist spiritual energy, democratizing religion across classes and genders. Rationalism and elite skepticism moved in the opposite direction. Question 7. Stimulus. Broadside for a boarding house in Lowell, Massachusetts, 1840. Rooms available for mill girls of good repute. Rules of conduct strictly enforced. Question. The advertisement above most clearly illustrates A. Industrial employers' efforts to control female workers' moral and social behavior. B. Employer paternalism designed to portray industrial labor as compatible with female virtue. C. Early union efforts to protest restrictions on women's independence in factory towns. D. State-imposed housing standards created to regulate industrial employment. The correct answer is A. Industrial employers' efforts to control female workers' moral and social behavior. Lowell's boarding house system sought to attract and discipline female laborers by combining economic opportunity with strict codes of conduct. The moral supervision reflected employer paternalism, not government regulation or organized labor activism. Question 8. Stimulus excerpt from a Philadelphia newspaper, 1844. Rioters inflamed by false reports of Catholic aggression set fire to churches in Kensington. Question. This event most directly reflected A. State-led enforcement of moral order through religious censorship. B. Protestant reformers' fears that parochial education undermined civic virtue. C. Escalating urban tensions over labor competition and cultural identity. D. Rising nativist hostility to Irish and Catholic immigrants in urban centers. The correct answer is D. Rising nativist hostility to Irish and Catholic immigrants in urban centers. Anti-Catholic violence erupted as urban nativists blamed immigrants for social disorder. The violence stemmed from prejudice, not official church policy or government mandates. Question 9. Stimulus. Daguerreotype of a northern city street, 1847. Crowded tenements and horse-drawn carts fill a smoky street. Question. The image most directly demonstrates A. The environmental and public health reforms initiated by municipal governments. B. The collapse of artisan production under the pressure of mechanized wage labor. C. Urban overcrowding caused by immigration and industrial growth. D. Religious reformers' campaigns to moralize city life through temperance and charity. The correct answer is C. Urban overcrowding caused by immigration and industrial growth. The photo captures the effects of industrialization, dense housing, pollution, and growing immigrant populations concentrated in city centers. Social and municipal reform responses would emerge later, reacting to these same urban challenges. Question 10. Stimulus. Rules of the American Temperance Society, 1836. No member shall partake of intoxicating liquors except in case of illness. Question. This document reflects A. Evangelical reformers' belief that self-control was essential to moral and social order. B. Early medical reformers' advocacy for moderate alcohol use as a therapeutic necessity. C. The rise of working men's associations resisting bourgeois interference in leisure habits. D. State legislative campaigns to criminalize alcohol consumption among laborers. The correct answer is A. Evangelical reformers' belief that self-control was essential to moral and social order. Temperance societies reflected religious moralism linking sobriety to self-discipline and productivity. Federal prohibition and medical regulation were later developments. Thanks for watching APush for 5. Let us know in the comments which questions you liked the most. If today's practice helped you, tap like, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any future videos. And share this with a friend who's also aiming for that 5. If you want more hands-on learning or direct feedback, reach out directly. We'd love to help you take your prep to the next level. See you in the next video.